Okay. So I hope you can see already. You can see it already. Ayun. So rules and regulations of track events. So we start now? Okay ba? Start na tayo? Although kahit ilan lang tayo, 16, 17, 19. Yan. So let's start with sprints. Running event lang tayo, no? So when I say running events, purely running. No hurdle, no, what else? No relays. So purely running lang. Let's start with sprinting. So when I say sprinting, sprints are short distances. That means we only have three. 100-meter sprint, 200-meter sprint, and 400-meter sprint. Or 400-meter dash, 200-meter dash. Yan. It talks about the maximum speed of a person when running. Okay? So yun lang, yung tatlo na yan. Mabilisan. So hindi kailangan ng endurance dito. Ang kailangan dito, the strength of your muscle, your legs, and the speed. That is the answer actually of your module 3 in the first part. Okay? Now, we have also the middle long distance running. Look at that. There are only two middle distance events. So we have this 800 meters and 1,500 meters. And the long distance events are 5,000 and 10,000 meter run. Okay? Sometimes there is 3,000 meter run. I don't know in Olympics, parang wala na. Naging steeplechase na lang yata. But in some other European countries and world championships dun sa Africa, I think, or somewhere else in the no, some nation, no, they have 3,000 meter sprint. 3,000 meter run. So what do we need here in the middle and long distance? What we need here is not just simply speed. It's not just simply speed. You have to maintain your pacing, your speed all throughout up to the finish kasi mahaba-haba yan, no? But of course, don't forget, no, the strength and endurance, the heart endurance and lung endurance class, lung endurance. Yun ang kailangan dyan sa middle and long distance. Right? Next, before we move on to the rules, no, further, I want you to familiarize this and other else, pag hindi ko pa na-mention dito. Yung starting blocks. So, you are familiar with starting blocks, right? It was already mentioned and presented in Module 3. Kung saan yung umaapak yung tao, yung runner. Yun yun, no? Starting blocks yun. Adjustable yun, class. Kung makikita nyo, dalawa yun, no? Adjustable yun. Both left and right. Kung ano yung pinaka-komportable. Pero most likely meron tayong crouch positions na yun sa video na napanood niyo. If you have watched the video, okay, those are the ones used with starting blocks. Okay, so sprinting events, starting blocks. Pero middle and long distance events, they are not going to use starting blocks kasi standing position yun. Right? Now, plus tell me if I'm going too fast. Just tell me, okay? Okay lang ba ako? Okay lang? Thumbs up tayo kung okay lang. Hindi masyadong mabilis. And clear yung boses ko. Hope so. Okay, thank you. Now, false start. If you have watched the video, yung starting positions, thank you Joey and sino pa yung nag-thumbs up? Oh, sorry. You have watched the video. Yung false start na yon, if you don't follow the on your marks, set, and the sound of the gun, for example, on your marks, pasok ka dun sa starting block. Before the starting line, do not touch the starting line with your hands. Nakalagay doon, no? Nakalagay doon. And then, next is, bam! Kunwari, no? Bam! Kunwari ganyan, no? So that is now when you are going to start commence or start running, okay? So, before the sound of the gun, tumakbo ka, false start. Upon set command, nandun na yun, no? You did not raise your knee, the knee touching the floor or the ground, it's a false start na naman. Yun, okay? So that's false start. Now, starting line and finish line, let's proceed to the oval. So I hope you can see the oval. This is the finish line. Only one finish line, class. Okay? But before we move on to the starting line, there are so many starting lines depending on the event that you are going to conduct or you're going to run. For example, But before you move on to that one, we have what we call this first bend, the first part of the oval, up to dito, no? And the second part is the first straightway. First bend, first straightway. Second bend is the third part. Third part, okay? And the second straightway is the uh, last part or the fourth part. Walang password. Okay. And then, so those are the four parts of the oval class now. Those are the four parts of the oval. Now, let's go to the starting line. The starting line of 100-meter run is from the finish line. By the way, the finish line is always running from, you run the last lap and then you cross the finish line facing the sunrise here, no? So southeast yung location ng track oval natin, facing the sunrise yung finish line, right? So from finish line, 100 papunta dito, ito yung 100. Starting line of 100, straight line siya. Yung starting line ng 100-meter sprint. Bakit straight line? It's because straightway ang starting line niya. Okay? So that's it. Now, how about the 200-meter dash? Okay? Atras ka ulit, since lane 1 is exactly for 100 meters. Okay? Dito naman yung starting line ng 200-meter dash. Lane 1. 200-meter dash. Lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, lane 5, 6, 7, 8. Bakit siya staggered yung starting line? Eh dito straight line yung starting line nila. Okay? Because this one will start in a bend, in the second bend. That means, literally speaking, the exact 100 or the exact 400 meters, this whole lap, is lane 1 only. But lane 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, in the bend, they're not exact anymore. Kaya sinukat yan, no, papunta dito. From here, sinukat yan exactly 100 hanggang dito. Yung lane 3 and lane 2. Kasi nga, as you go outside or the outer lanes are longer distance ito compared to this lane 1, right? I hope you understand that one. Okay? Just raise your hand or speak up if you unmute yourself if you did not understand that one or any part of this. Okay? So that is the starting line and the finish line. Let's proceed now to the next one. Oh, by the way, before we proceed to the break line, we also have starting lines of 400-meter run. Dito rin yun. It's the same as the finish line. It's the same as the finish line. Okay? Kasi yung one lap is 400 meters from lane 1. Pero from lane 2, 3, hindi. Di ba? Dito rin. Dito ang starting line, dito rin ang finish line. Pero straight line ba siya? Hindi. Hindi straight line ang starting line. Kasi nga, nagsisimula siya sa curve or sa first bend, yung 400-meter run. Kaya, ang starting niya is staggered. 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Don't mind those other marks muna, no? Tsaka na natin pag-usapan yan kasi as we move on to the modules. Alright. So, saan na ako? How about this denouement line or curve lines? Those are starting lines also. These are starting lines. Yan yung mga yan, no? Yan. Okay. This one. This is the starting line of 1,500 and then 3,000 meters steeplechase. I don't know kung saan na to. 3,000 or 2,000. Ito yung 2,000 yata. Okay. 5,000. Dito naman yung 10,000 somewhere here. Okay. Yung mga denouement or curve line na yan. Okay. So, as you observe, middle distance and long distances, middle distance, 1.5 and long distances, curve or denouement line ang starting line niya. Unlike sprinting, straight line sa straightway or staggered sa curve. Staggered sa curve. Okay? So, yun yun. Let's proceed now to the break line. The break line is the green one. Ito yun. Ito yung break line. No? What is the purpose of that one? That is functional in 4 by 400 meter relay, the one carrying baton, and then pass it to the second runner. The second runner will run 400 meters, no, 400 meters, and then he will pass it here. So, ganun yung 4 by 400. 4 runners will run 400 meters each. So first runner, nasa lane 3 siya. Lane 3. Where's lane 3? There you go. The first runner carrying the baton will run until the finish line to complete the 400. 4x400 kasi, di ba? And then, papasok na rito. Pag malapit na, papasok na dito yung isang runner or receiver who will receive the baton from runner lane 3. Papasa ng ganyan. The second runner who is carrying the baton will now run the whole lane 3 in the bend. And then after that one, upon reaching this break line, he or they are allowed already to transfer to lane 1 or to the inner lanes. Wala nang shortcut doon kasi nga straight way to. Pero if you do that one here, nag-transfer ka na kaagad doon sa inner lane, it's a shortcut, disqualified ka. Pag dito naman, it's a long cut, disadvantage mo, or you might block some or obstruct some runners. Ganun yun, no? Okay? You might obstruct some runners. So that's how they use the break line. Another one is this one. Yung 800-meter run, which is a middle distance event, no? They stagger din yun. Lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, ganun din yung starting niya. They will run, all runners will run on their lanes, no? If you're in lane 5, all throughout. Okay? But after the first bend, no? Pagkalagpas nila doon, pwede na sila kaagad. They are allowed to transfer to lane 1 immediately. Okay? They don't need to complete the oval, no? So that middle distance na kasi yun. Right? So that is the function of the break line. Okay? Oh, by the way, in sprinting events like 100, 200, 400, and 4x100 relay and 4x100 meter relay, and even hurdling events, those are short distances and running events, but not purely running, yung hurdling tsaka relay, no? Those short distances are run in their own lane only. So kung ikaw ang athlete, sprinting ka o short distance runner ka, tatakbo ka lang, you are only allowed to run in your lane 5, for example, if you're in lane 5, all throughout the finish. But in middle distances like 800-meter run, no? Pagkalagpas dito sa first bend, pwede na ulit silang lumipat. Yung 1,500, ito naman yun, 1,500. After crossing this, after passing the starting line, pwede na silang, wala nang lane na sinusunod. Pwede silang pumunta sa lane 1 ulit kagad, no? So it's the same with the 10,000 and 5,000 meter run, no? No need for that one. So 800 lang ang at saka yung sprinting lang ang rules na yun. Okay? So before I move on, questions with the oval or the explanation of that one, the sprinting, middle, and long distance events? Class, do you have questions? Just unmute yourself.
Wala, sir.
Wala naman. Wait lang, Tasa. Okay, so let's proceed. Ayan. Now, how to start each event? I will not discuss this anymore because it was explained in the short video starting positions and commands to start. Yung sprints, crouch position. Yung longer races like middle and long distance, standing position. Yung sprint, crouch position, there are 3 commands. Dito naman, 2 commands. So, nakita nyo na yung demonstration namin doon, no? Sa athletic ball mismo. So, skip ko na yan. Even this one, skip ko na to. And then I discussed this part, 800 and 1,500 a while ago in the oval, no? In the oval. So how a typical race proceeds. Okay, this one was shown in the video. Even this letter B, and even this one. But this one, no, additional, you're only finished if your torso part crosses the vertical plane of the finish line. So when you say crosses the vertical plane of the finish line, if this is the finish line from bottom, from the ground, pataas, no, pataas, yun yung vertical plane, imaginary vertical plane, yun yan, no? So which part or where is our torso, class? Sa neck, or bottom of the neck, down to the waistline. So yung part na yan, kailangan mag-cross or should cross the finish line or vertical plane of the finish line before considered finish. Okay? So, ano yung part ng torso? Shoulder, breast or chest, chan, natin, and the bottom of the waistline. Yan. So, kunwari, may isa sa inyo, malaki yung chan ko, tapos yung isa flat sa inyo, sabay kaming tumakbo dun sa going down the wire sa finish line. Eh, sabay kami na tumatakbo. Almost sabay kami na ganyan, no? Sino mananalo sa tingin nyo? Siyempre, mas malaki ang chan. Yun, no? Kung gifted ka sa chan, pati rin sa babae, kung gifted siya sa harapan, di ba? Sabay sila. Yung isa, hindi gifted. Sabay silang ganyan. Halos sabay sila. Mas mauuna yung gifted. O, yan. Lalo pag magda-dive siyang ganon. Or parang yung diving, yung i-dive niya talaga yung ano niya, yung sarili niya, yung ulo niya. But not the head or neck or not the legs. Only the torso part. Can you see my video, class? Can you see my face?
Yes, sir.
Ah, okay. At least.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Bon Mark. Kasi baka nag-signal ako dito. Wala pala. Okay, so yun yun. Next, how to win an event in running. Actually, this is the analysis part where group discussion sana to. Pero dito ko na. Ang gagawin nyo na lang na requirement ay yung dun sa assessment part. And then sa Canvas, meron nakalagay. Submit your assignment here. Dun yung isasubmit. Nandun din yung description ng isasubmit niyo. The same with the assessment in the rules and regulations of running or track events. Okay. We jump to letter E. The one who reaches the finish line first in the final is the winner. So, ganoon lang kasimple, no? How to win? Finish first. Okay? Be the first to finish. But, make sure that your torso will cross the finish line. If not, then well, you might lose. Okay? So, letter A and B. Let's go back to letter A and B. Doon na kayong E, no? A and B. We have these rounds and each round and then what else? Hits. Yan. Rounds and hits. So, when we say rounds and hits, unahin muna natin yung hits. There are 16 participants or runners. In those 16 runners, they cannot be accommodated in the oval, all of them at the same time running, in short or distal, in short up to middle, in short up to, yes, short distances, all short distances. So that means, first 8 runners munang tatakbo. Kasi nga, the oval comprises 8 lanes up to 10 lanes only. Outdoor oval to, ha. Indoor ovals are 4 to 6 lanes. Yun yun. So, hindi pwedeng lahat sila tatakbo. So, anong gagawin nila? Stay muna yung second 8. Tatakbo muna yung first 8. That's what we call the first heat. And after the first heat, second heat na tayo, yung second 8 runners na second heat na yun. And those 2 heats, yung dalawang heats na yun, we call it as round or elimination round. Okay? Sinong papasok doon? Yung top 8. Based on the time, okay, of the fastest time. The one with the fastest time. Alright? So next, how about this one? Okay. Ito. Letter C and letter D. Though athletes might be randomly placed in the first round, athletes who advance by place and time are recorded. These records are considered while seeding them in hits and subsequent rounds. Wait lang. Okay, additional information dito sa letter C and D na to, no? Usually. Top performers from each sheet participate in the... Okay, so the top performers from each sheet will participate in the next round, no? Yung mga low performers, bottom performers, eliminated na sila. Ayan. Additional, what if I want to run in lane 4? Because I want in lane 4. I don't want in other lanes. Would that be possible? Okay, that depends. Or the first answer is no. Why? The drawing of lots or lanes, no, are through random selection. If not random selection, mangyayari dyan, they will choose the top 4 performers of the of the events, of previous events, or yung record mo mismo. For example, I have a record of national top 1, local top 2, regional top 1, mga ganun-ganun, no? So, top performer, top athlete ako. Tapos meron akong tatlong kasama, o isang kasama, no? I have top 1 ako, top 2 siya. So, pagpipilian nila yung lanes. Kami ang magpipili ng lanes. Pero, the best lanes, actually class, are lane 4 and lane 5. Why lane 4 and lane 5? Yun, yung pagpipilian naming dalawa. Drawing of lots yun. Okay? Bakit 4 and 5 ang best lanes? Because peripheral vision mo, you can visualize or you can at least sense kung malayo, malapit, o yung mga competitors mo. Ganun yun, kung competitors mo. Yan. Unlike in lane 1, yung right side na malapit lang sa'yo, or in lane 8, the left side near to you is the only athletes that you can sense, parang ganun. So that's why the best lanes are 4 and 5, and the second best lanes are 3 and 6. Yan. So the top 3 and 4 will have a draw lots for lane 3 and lane 5. Okay, so that's it. Questions, lads? You don't have questions? Right, so that's how it was explained. Now, running rules. Sprinters should run in designated lanes, cannot cross lanes throughout the race. In sprinting, so you're not allowed to run or cross. You're not allowed also to block, obstruct, or bump, or what do you call this one? Elbow. To elbow some of the runners, you will be disqualified for that one if they saw you. Okay? In races with bunch stars, no, athletes can break inside. Okay na to. Okay na tong... Actually, okay na tong A to D. Na-explain ko na kanina dun sa track oval. No? Sprinters should not step on white lines that mark their 10 minutes. In 10 minutes. Okay. Mark their lanes throughout the race. These are the white lines. Boundary lines dividing the lanes. Okay? The lanes are the red ones, yun, where you run or athlete runs. Okay? So, beyond those white lines, if you are here, for example, no, running, you're not allowed. In sprinting, in short distance, you're not allowed to cross or step outside your lane, limited by the lines, white lines. Okay? So, that's it. Okay. So this is A to D. That's how you explain that one. Explain ko na rin to kanina. A, B, C, and D. Athletes can break inside after the start in 1.5, 5,000, and 10,000 after the start. Pero sa 800, explain ko na rin kanina na yan. No? Okay na yan. Ayun. Letter E. Sensors are placed in the starting pistol and blocks. In case of false start, the athlete is disqualified. Pag sensor o detector, no? Computerized yun, technology. Excuse me. Computerized yung technology dun sa Olympic Games or European countries or in the first world countries. Pero sa Pilipinas, wala. Manual pa rin tayo. There is one official who is taking the time, your time, or a time for an individual athlete. Okay? So if there are 8 runners, there are 8 officials. Nagta-time manual. So pwedeng madaya yun. Pwedeng hindi exact yung pagpindot niya doon. No? So, how great naman pagka technology-wise, meron din tayong sensor detector doon sa dito sa Pilipinas. No? Meron yata, pero doon sa Southeast Asian Games, doon sa Pampanga noon, last year ba yun or this year lang? May sensor yun, no? Kasi Southeast Asian game yun. Okay, so once you leave the block, starting block, before the gun shot, or leaving after the set command, so masisense ng ng computer kung false start o hindi. Magti-trigger dun sa starting dun sa pistol, no, sa pistol. Yan. Okay? So letter F, before giving, okay na to. Okay? Explain na sa video. Athletes should not obstruct. Okay na yan, sinabi ko na yan kanina. Even this one. Alright, last na, ito na yun. Athletes may leave the track voluntarily before the race ends. Before the race ends. Okay? Pwede ka, kung pagod ka na, hindi mo na kaya. You may leave the track oval. But, Once you come back, it's not allowed anymore. You will be disqualified na. Ganyan. Okay? Pwedeng umalis, pero hindi na pwedeng bumalik. O, yan. Di ba? It's like, pag may umalis sa inyo, huwag nyo nang pabilikin. Para hindi na ma-disqualify. Tama ba? Alright, so that is the last, I think, of the slide. Last one. Do you have any question? I hope you understand. Questions, class?
None, sir.
Yan. Okay, thank you. Yan. Ayan din. Ayan. Actually, itong oval na to, na-upload din doon sa Canvas. Ito kasi, snapshot lang to, no? Screenshot lang to, I think. But pero yung nasa Canvas nyo, pwede nyo i-zoom in, i-zoom out. You can see the starting lines of every event. Okay, and then the legends or the labels of those. The starting line of hurdling events, yung mga yan. Ito yung legends niya, no? May label din yan, no? Ito yung mga events and others. Any questions? Other.
Sir.
How about the other?
None po.
Okay ba? Clear ba yung pagkano nyo, pagka-present niya? This
Yes,
one,
sir.
yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
This one is being recorded, class. So those who did not attend, of course, I will upload this one. But I don't know, was there, what are their reasons? Kuryente, data mobile ba sila? I don't know. Kaya hindi natin alam kung paano natin i-deal yung ganitong online class. No? But nevertheless, it's still a new learning, new experience for all of us, even us teachers in the University of the Cordilleras are still adjusting to it. And it's good to at least experience this online learning na ginagawa natin. Okay? So, I'll stop sharing the PowerPoint presentation. Oh, 15 lang talaga. 15 lang talaga, no? So, Arian ba yan? Or Arian?
Arian po.
Arian, and then yes, Bon Mark, Angel, Ashley, Brilliant, Bile, Darrell, Dixie, Edgar Perry, Emerson, Joey, Laluan, Mark. Who else? Paul and Tricia. Sila lang nakatan dito. Wait lang. Screenshot ko lang yung name niya. After the screenshot of your name, there you go. The bottom part. And then, would you mind to unleash yourselves? Show your personality, ganun. Okay, para mag-screenshot na rin ako dito, class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16 lang. Ayan. Kaya naligo kayo o hindi, okay lang yan. Kaya nasa labas kayo, nasa CR kayo, okay lang yan, class. Walang problema. Ang importante, yung mukha ninyo. May screenshot ako. Actually, kagagaling ko sa health center eh. Pawis nga ako yun. Ayan. Ay, ang gaganda tsaka ang gagwapo naman pala ng mga babes ko.
Gino-joke po naman kami, sir.
Sabi, bakit? Sabi ko, tinanggap ko yung klase na to. Bakit ang landi ng klase ko, babes? Yung pala, ano na yung babes? Bachelor of Arts and in?
Behavioral Science, sir.
Behavioral Science. But all of you are from the CAS or Arts and Sciences?
Hindi, sir.
Hindi. Section lang pala. But most of you, di ba? Most of you. Okay. So, sino pa? Dixie. Tinurong mo tarong pambitan. Edila Perry. Angel. Thank you, Tricia. Hindi sila makakonect. Anyways. Screenshot tayo. Ready? Smile. Your face and... Okay. Isa pa. One more. Tuloy class documentation namin. There you go. Okay. We have to submit, reports that we're having our online class. Kasi, naman, baka sabihin nila hindi kami nagkakaroon. Pag-check na lang ng mga individual papers ninyo, yung hirap. Sabihin pa nila, hindi kami nagkaklase. Okay, so exam na. I still have 2 minutes. Exam, okay. Okay lang if you want to your video. Or kung stay na ganyan, okay lang naman. May nakikita ko ng mga faces. Pero okay lang if you want to cancel. So exam na natin sa Thursday. Pero I'm thinking of opening it till Sunday. But then you only have one attempt to do that one. Okay? So there is a time limit. We did not discuss yet the time limit of every question. So, paano? Kasi we decided multiple choices, I think, and 10 points of essays. So that's beyond my control. But if I am given the chance to decide on my own, kagaya nung sa physical, sa physical class natin sa gym, kanya-kanyang exam kasi yan. Pero dito, well, we have a uniform activity na ginagawa para pare-pareho daw yung delivery, no? Yan. So I hope you understand. 40 items and then 10-point essay. In case, no? Kung pwedeng 50 items, multiple choices din, okay naman yan. Right? I'm thinking of having it second attempt, pero depende class. Baka ayaw nila, no? Kasi when you take quizzes, assignments, upload, or when you take quizzes or exams, you may do it twice, or you may attempt twice or thrice. That depends on the settings of your instructor. Okay? If they would allow us to do that one, why not? Hanggang second attempt pwede ako, pero third hindi na pwede. Pero kung one attempt lang, then one attempt lang. Okay? So, have you received already in your Canvas, yung sa box sa upper corner niyo, yung schedule of payment? Pag sa Baguio, walang problema. Punta lang sa school. Pag sa labas, outside Baguio, I think you have to send it to pay through bank and then email the confirmation of your payment. Okay?